MeghalayaPost.news.
Wala ka parti kampat shimya ganu karay ban penyeng kyrtong hakani ke election siteng samoy siya kayeng turbar tauan halok sabha naka shillong Parliamentary constituency kabadairu hadian ka jingklat bakansan no Dr. Syngkon kum MP naka VPP party hanre habakaran shikilat pathai kubor mentaka sngi kalalong kumbau secretary ka Meghalaya Pradesh Congress Committee ba Manuel badwar ulaik sai lupa bau MP barim bad badairu u president ke MPPC ba Vincent H Pala unla banlong kum kyrtong ka party Congress hakani ke election siteng samoy jong ka election MP na Shillong Parliamentary constituency kay kabapaw syabar kung balapan paw daw tayo he nong ilam ka Congress kaday habaw lakran da kabaong banpa da kibriyo ki batumay sa parliament kalong kabakam janjar badon kam kita kibriyo ki bladon jing tip lupa ha parliament na marlada pa da kibriyo ki batumay kidang syem jing e bad kidang ham banwa jing tip kumnu kiya kikam kijam ha katay kayeng turbar tauan hapo kari ulakran syay kung balong hadu menta ka party Congress ha kajala kampat syem kanukuno karay yanu ban ay tiken ne banlong kum kyrtong na kabanta kani ke election siteng samoy jong ke election MP na Shillong Parliamentary constituency Henry ki bami syabar bamu niya kun kum kyrtong ke Congress kadai tang ke jingpen saprang kubor ha kirunsan social media batkam dai satia karai jong ke party ulong ru baka Congress kan bisyar bnia abham batkan ai tiket ru ya ubrio baladan jing tip lupa ha parliament bania ka bapniang da kibrio ki batmai namar ka samoy trikam ru kalasa satang arsenam siteng AA ulakran ru kumbalong hadu menta ki don artli kimat jingdawa ki bah kamat e kata ban pentrikam ya ILP baru baka ketien kasih bergaru kanyo rung ha ka kernit bapra jong ka riti sensyar kari ha ka badon kam banyo da kibrio ki bastat ki bala syempang baniatai ha ka te ka yeng dorbar tauan kari ulapan paru kumbalong hadu menta ka party Congress kampat syim kanu karai ban ai tiket bat ka burom ya ka jingklat badang syen Dr. Syngkon ka balalong ka jingduh ka bakraw ya ka jela.
The round for the MP elections is a social media activity that has happened. I don't know through where. We as a party have not discussed at all, okay? And I don't think so it's the right time for us to start discussing about who the candidate is and so on and so forth. It is not wise, it is not right. We have to give it some time with all due respect to late Dr. Syngkon who had passed away, and we're going to take a little time because we know that even as a party also we have to be very clever into which candidate we send. Why I say so? Because there's only 2.5 years left, number one. And believe it or not, to send a new candidate is going to be extremely difficult, okay? Because they have to acclimatize themselves to Delhi. They have to go there, they have to network, they have to do a whole lot of activities, right? Before we even start delivering. So from the party's perspective, I'm not in a notion of sending we are not in a notion of sending anybody new, but of course we've not had any discussion, but this is just my personal thought. I would definitely like somebody who has the experience. I would always like somebody who already have a network, because let's face fact, there are very two important issues that are there in the state today. One is the ILP and the other is the Khasi language entering the 8th schedule, right? So if you look at these two aspects, they are already in the pipeline, right? So we know for sure that the BJP government will not do anything about them. We know that for sure, okay? They might beat around the bush, but they're not going to take any action on it. We as a Congress, remember one thing, we have more than 100 MP in the parliament today. And on top of the 100 MP that we also have coalition people who are already aligned with us. The job of any MP of the state, if at all the public chooses an MP from the Congress, the job of that MP is to go and at least brief to each and every MP that is there within the Congress, the 100 plus people, and explain to them the importance of the ILP, because it has already been passed as a resolution by the Assembly. And that MP has to go and explain to each and get what we call in English as the buy-in, so that these people will understand that yes, Meghalaya needs it, and it's not something which is derogatory, it's not something which is very bad, correct? And the other thing is, the same MP has to also go and explain to them that the Khasi language especially, and the Garo language for that matter in the long run, is also important to be entering the 8th schedule. So these are the two important things that needs to be done. And believe it or not, we have to hit the ground the moment the MP is elected. And we believe that if somebody is of a caliber who has already got the networking skills, who already has people he knows, who already is very familiar with living in Delhi and familiar with everything else and with the parliament and the activities within the parliament, it will be benefiting us a lot more. Because let's face fact, ILP and the Khasi language and the Garo language, I think the 8th schedule is something which is definitely in the agenda of the public at large. And it is not a case of whether we get it or we don't get it. It's just a case of when do we get it. And if we can speed it up a little faster by at least allowing and ensuring that the MPs that are there within the Congress party already is very well versed with such an issue, it will be better for us. Because believe it or not, we know it for sure that sooner or later the Congress also will come into power in Delhi. And at that time, it will be a lot faster for us to take this agenda or this issue forward. Because it's very difficult for any party which is a single man or for anybody which is new to even go there. It is going to be difficult for him. For anybody, yeah, it takes time. Yes, we have lost, and we know that we've lost an MP recently, and it's bad luck for the state. But then at the end of the day, we need to also continue the agendas that has been taken forward by various MPs in the past. And I think this is an agenda which is state related. It has nothing to do with politics. And we, at least I can tell you for sure that when we do have the meeting, these kind of narrative from our side will go very strongly towards the party also, and let the party decide as to which is the best candidate. I think it's very immature for me to even say anything right now. It depends on what the party thinks. But my strong point is very plain and simple, that we need somebody who's very well versed, who has been in that line for quite some time, and it depends on what the party chooses. Yeah?
MeghalayaPost.news